everyone, welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV. Now I was going to wait until tonight's podcast. Remember, every Tuesday live at 7 PM we do our podcast to talk about this, and maybe we'll go into it in more discussion there with me and Keg and all of you in the live chat as well. But I have to break the news that came out an hour or so ago now, so I'm not really breaking them, I'm just talking about the news. It was the Telegraph that are breaking this news, and it's coming from the back of the feasibility study that the club still haven't made public but should do soon, and that is that Newcastle United are staying at St James's Park. Now, it's only right that I do make a video on this and we'll talk about this topic because I have covered this a few times on the channel. You know, talks of potential new stadium sites, talks of expansion. In the last video I did, I ran through some great graphics there by BondiBot that we will use on the screen again, just photos of it this time. The video ones are in the last video as well, so check them out where he did a great graphic, great animations of a potential new stadium in Leazes Park, but also the expansion of St James's Park, what could be done at the Gallagher and things like that. It's cracking animation. I went through that in the previous video, and now it's came to light that after 6 months of a feasibility study, Newcastle United have decided to stay and expand St James's Park. They are hoping it can reach over 60,000 capacity at the tune, and that is their goal, to stay at the Cathedral on the Hill, and that is what they will be doing in the near future. Now, further along the line, does it mean that the new stadium's ruled out? No, it isn't, because apparently, if this doesn't go ahead, where they still need to get confirmation from Newcastle Council, and they still need to get things in place, if that didn't work, then they would look to build a new stadium right behind St James's Park, in Leazes Park, on Castle Leazes, which I've already did a video on as well, but we know that'll be an absolute nightmare. But according to the Telegraph, that is the club's plan B if this one doesn't go through for permission, for council, for whatever else, and they can't expand. That's what they will be doing. And personally, down the lane, I still will be very surprised if Newcastle United do not move stadium, because, I mean, I'm talking 10, 15, 20 years time here. I'm not talking in the next 5, 10 now, no way. I've said all along it'd be difficult to do that, really. We're talking at least 15, 20 years in the making, but when we do, hopefully, as the Newcastle United owners want, become the best team in the world, they've said that's the goal. If we get to where Manchester City are, we're winning trebles and we win the league, then it's only right, it's only true that we are going to really have to expand the stadium beyond what we can do now, what, 60, 65,000. And I think that new shiny state-of-the-art stadium will come further down the lane, but for now, St James's Park is going to get modernised. Thank God for that, because my God doesn't need it. Now, this is the perfect scenario, really, isn't it? The expansion of St James's Park. I think we all truly wanted to stay there, even though, you know, it does seem tempting, it is fancy to get that new fancy stadium, but to stay at St James's Park with all our history, heritage, the location of it, the heartbeat of the city, the memories we've got there, all the rest of it, it is very much the ideal situation. It's just how much can we expand it by? And that's always been the issue. Because of the grey listed buildings on the east stand, very unlikely we'll be able to do anything there, but the Gallagher is where it is at. Now, we obviously bought back the land for the fan zone, the stack that is getting built at the minute, so that's going to be there for a couple of years. Work is not expected to start on this possible expansion of St James's Park until next year, at least. So that's there. And the only other issue that we do have is obviously we are a host city for Euro 2028, so they'll have to get it done by then, which they could do. It's an expansion, isn't it? Anfield have done it, you know, Liverpool have done it recently. Loads of teams do the expansion, so it's not going to take years and years to just add another 5,000, 10,000 on, 15,000 tops. You know, if we can reach over that 60,000 mark, then we will be able to get it done. But that's the plan. Get this underway, get this feasibility study done now, because the architects have said and have got ideas of how to expand St James's Park, and apparently it's going to be the biggest and best expansion that a UK stadium has ever seen, and a most complicated one as well. So it is going to be quite tricky to get this done. It is going to be one of the most spectacular and innovative stadiums to play in, so that's music to my ears. That sounds absolutely amazing. To get to the point where we're going from St James's Park that under Mike Ashley never ever got touched for so many years. I mean, we were even happy when Staveley and that came in and started putting up banners in the concourse just to make it look better. Now, the concourse, it still feels so dated, feels so out of touch, especially when you go to some of their stadiums around the world and around the Premier League. It just needs a lot of work done to it. So to hear that they are going to do this, because they are going to have to improve a lot of, obviously, the concourses and the things behind the scenes, not just the actual seats and increasing the capacity. There is loads of work to be done at St James's Park. So they're going to get underway with that. They're going to make it a special place to be. That already is, but in terms of surprising us with how modern it can be transformed. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the plans when they do eventually get made public. This article from the Telegraph has said that it is going to be some time before we do see the proper official expansion plans released, whatever that may be. Obviously, you've seen the graphics on your screen, you've seen potential things that can be done with the Gallagher, build over the road, have it underneath still, something similar to Atletico Madrid's old stadium. There's loads of different ways. Obviously, that's why these architects and these forums and everything else has been going underway in this study for the past 6 months. They're the experts, they're the professionals, they get paid big bucks to sort this out. So I'm excited to see exactly what they've got planned. And the point being of, modernising it and making it spectacular is because it's not just St James's Park that will be hosting Premier League football for Newcastle United. They're going to be doing a whole host of other things. They want to get back in the concert side of things. Obviously, we've seen Sam Fender play here last summer. That was for the first time in forever. The Stadium of Light gets Beyonce in that, and Newcastle gets nothing. It's crazy how we never tapped into this market when our capacity is bigger and better, even the stadium as we've described it now. We should be hosting these big festivals, these big concerts. They now want to host other sports, so they want to bring the NFL to Newcastle. They want to bring other things. Obviously, England, the Three Lions are playing next month at St James's Park, and like I said, for Euro 2028, we'll be having teams here. So they want to touch into all sorts, and again, why wouldn't you? It brings money into the area, brilliant, brings new jobs, more money to bars, restaurants, the city, everything. So this article was saying, they've still got to convince the council, there's work to be done in legislation and sorting things out, and even the tenancy of St James's Park is mentioned in this article that we do still have it for the next 70 years, the land, the leasehold and everything of St James's Park. But the Telegraph are reporting, they still need to sort that out. The Saudi Arabian PIF, who are obviously going to bankroll this whole expansion of the stadium, they want to make sure we've got it for at least that long or longer. So maybe that goes ahead to further plans where 20 years down the line, if they do want to build a new stadium, they've still got this land to do what they want with it. Build it into the academy, build it into the women's side of things, whatever. You know what I mean? That does make sense. So there's still a lot to sort out. It's not like, yes, this feasibility study's done, and now it is kind of official when the club announce it. But Luke Edwards is saying that, he's got the exclusive on it, and I'm sure it'll come out later in the week. Eddie will be asked about it in his press conference on Friday and whatnot. That, they have decided to go ahead with expanding St James's Park, not building a new stadium. And I think that was always going to be the realistic goal, wasn't it? That was the realistic target, because to build a new stadium now, Darren Neal said last summer, he thought it was an issue where if you build a new 80,000-seater stadium, can we sell that out week in, week out? Can we sell it out for a midweek visit of Burnley? I know the season ticket demand is there and they've done up the hospitality and stuff. I just think it was always going to be too much too soon for these owners. Listen, we haven't even built a new training ground yet. I think that was a point towards it where we've spent millions on upgrading the current training ground instead of just building a brand new one. I think they're going to do the same with the stadium. Well, they are. They're proving it now. They're just going to expand the stadium, work on what they've got, because they know as well they don't want to. A lot of fans will still be very upset with a new stadium. A lot of fans are old school. A lot of fans, they'll be pulling at the heartstrings, and they might upset quite a few people if they did build a new stadium within a couple of years of owning it. So I think it made sense to do it this way, just for the fans, for all those reasons. It is. It's the best. It's the best option. Sort out the cathedral on the hill, modernise it, upgrade it, expand it, and then we're talking. And then, like I said, hopefully success will come. And then in the future, probably is inevitable that a new stadium will come, because we'll grow so much, we'll outgrow that stadium and that capacity. But that'll do for this video. Maybe we'll talk about it more on tonight's podcast. I want to hear what your thoughts are in the comments. Are you happy with the expansion? Do you want to see a new stadium? What do you think is the best option for the two? And they think expanding St James's Park is the right choice for this short term to long term, mid term at least. I've done enough waffling. I want to go enjoy that sunshine before tonight's podcast. Subscribe to my channel TV, give this one a thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next one.